I just want to post because people, there's of many reasons why women are not diagnosed for autism. There's many factors that go into it. If we go right to the diagnoses, actually version of diagnosing a person, women in the medical industry, women who go to doctors will be silenced, ignored, no matter what. So the diagnosis is going to take a fucking while. So if I were to get actually diagnosed for both ADHD and autism, and I don't even know if I have the OCD, it's possible, I would have to get a specialist, and it would probably have to be a specialist who knows about adult women and autism, and that would take me probably at least $500 just to get the correct doctor, and then I would have to be figure out. So I would be taking at least 3 doctors after I've already had I already had one evaluation. So probably 4 evaluations to actually get someone who's willing to listen to women, and that takes a fucking long time. Then you also have the whole thing of, why does your nephew, your little autist nephew, doesn't seem like a grown adult autist woman? The way that women are raised. So AFABs, femmes, people who are raised, who comes out the womb with a vagina. The way they're raised is to prepare them for motherhood, no matter what. So a lot of that has to do with just social society, and guess who raises you? Your mother, right? Because of all of this history of just women are the ones who are the parenting, almost probably 100% of the time. If not, I'll give you a 90%, right? It's only now that we have fathers are willing to actually be active in their parenting. Most of entirely 90% of women who have the children are the ones who are raising this. So I think if it was a 50-50, do you think dads will give a shit what type of social impacts that are involving behaviors of women? No, a kid is a kid. That's mostly what dads would do. If they saw a daughter who's doing a certain way, he would probably give less of a shit, but he would give a shit about the little boys because they want the boys to be doing very macho stuff. The patriarchy really has impacted the way people are, they grow up. So you would have, for children grow generally at the same rate, and the only thing that changes the way that people behave as autists is based on the social interactions. So there would be women who would be interested in simply trains. There would be women who are interested only in dinosaurs, only in sharks, only in whatever. But they are prohibited for a lot of things. Women are not allowed to do a certain behavior because of the way that social rules that they have. So if the reason why women are not diagnosed for autism is because the medical industry only focuses on white men, and white men have a lot of leniency in so many different ways, and it always starts right at the fucking womb. So if you were thinking, I'm never going to get diagnosed, it's entirely possible. It will take you a while. It will take you another decade. But yes, there are still women who have autism. And I would say, I'm a picker now because as a child, I didn't have the option to stim in other versions. I don't remember versions of stims that I would have done then. I do remember I did the hair twirling as a child, and I would also get prohibited for that. Oh, don't do that. All your hair will fall out. that was just a stim because I couldn't do whatever other stims I could do. I don't know about flapping hands. I don't know that because I don't remember those as a child. I am paying attention to my body, and I'm paying attention to hobbies because I didn't have the option as a child. A lot of growing up as a femme has so many social rules and demands of being a woman. Girls, if you know, they always have baby dolls. Why the fuck do you think that happens? Because they need, for if you're gonna have babies, they need they need women to have babies, and they need them to raise them, because men are unwilling to do that based on the patriarchy. They want men to be just only in a certain way and only a certain way for women. And boys will be boys. They had a lot of leniency always. Always. So if a boy was going to treat a certain way, behave in a certain way, they usually got brushed off. But that's not the case for women. Women, it starts at your fucking coming out the womb. So if you are considering, oh my God, there's no way, you're not a white man. That's just the reason why you are the way that you are. I would say, the way the country is doing right now, I'm American. Wow, what a surprise. I'm not even stressing on the medical industry because of the way the insurance is going, the way everything is. I'm not insured because I don't give a fuck right now. I'm not looking for a doctor because I don't want to waste my time and money for extended years. I'm going to focus on myself right now because I know that I lose my jobs for no reason, really. They always tell me it's labor costs. I'm very good at my whatever job I'm doing. It's just because I speak it a little differently and I miss cues, and that really bothers them a lot. It doesn't matter. People are assholes no matter what. So if there's a type of person who's going to be an asshole, it wouldn't matter if I was autistic or not. I would be dealing with a customer who's an asshole. So I don't really care, but it's mostly for them. And, but that's more of a societal issue because we're based on capitalism, and autists generally have a sense of justice and fairness. And so capitalism has no such thing as fairness or justice. So of course it makes sense that capitalism wants to eradicate people who have a sense of fairness. So yeah, I'm going to be fired, and the people who fire me is people who are comfortable with the whole capitalism thing. And that's the same application for patriarchy. People feel comfortable with this because this is what they're used to, and they're most of the time it's usually because people don't know how to focus on their own inner self. And a lot of people are used to their survival mode, and I'm just right now trying to not have the survival moding. I'm actually trying to pay attention to my body, my life. I eat healthy. I have started gardening. I enjoy my cat. I'm avoiding all of my spending. And I trust where things are going on right now. The more I can focus on my body, the more available I will be to understand if I need actual healthcare. If I'm focusing on my body, I'll be able to get what I need and figure out where it's supposed to go. I'm focusing more on the inner child so that I can be more comfortable with what it's like. The way that the country is going, it's going to the country's in shambles. We have this whole systems that are not going to be standing here that long. And I'm trusting that I don't need the survival mode. I'm learning the gardening. I'm focusing on things that I can. I am thinking about lawsuits in ways that I'm not going to tell you about it, but all this kind of stuff, I'm focusing on existing without having to appreciate the rules. I like rules. I like systems that are equitable, and they don't exist right now. So I'm interested in more of getting stimming the things I like, Can you guys hear that? Let me get closer. Because there's an airplane above. That's pretty loud. Can you hear me? I don't know. We'll see. Until it's not as loud. Okay, great. So I would say I support autists. I think at this point in my life, if I considered to have children, which I'm not interested in actually sperms. I'm not interested in penis in any way. I just can, maybe by the time I want it, I just want, bone marrow, they can do some shit for that. I don't even know if I want pregnancy, though. I don't even know if I want to birth anything. I don't know anything. If I was to consider raising a version of a child or multiples, it would be autists almost entirely, because I find this the way that that the whole world should change. I think this is a good option for us to have not only ADHD but autism, and I do feel that schizophrenia isn't necessarily a bad thing either, because they have access to. The reason why everything sucks is because of capitalism. If people could have control of their body and their connect with the ether, spirituality, I don't see that there has to be an issue of bad things with that. I think that's based on trauma results and abuse in their whole lives. I don't think schizophrenia has to be a bad thing, because I don't think autism is a bad thing. I think to be more connected with the ether is even better. And so I would focus on, well, fuck it, maybe on a schizophrenic kid too. If I have kids with the less abuse, less assault, less violence in their lives, then I don't see that as a problem in the first place. But I do have issues of just existing as myself, so I do understand that would take a lot of work just to raise kids. So if I were to have kids, it would be with a little village. That's probably why I'm interested in polyamory and all that too. If I were to consider it, is all of that. Anyway, if you're considering if you're autistic, you probably are. The things that they are expected for is white men and boys who were raised a certain way, and I'm tired of that. I didn't mind being feminine as a child. But as I grew up, I realized that it was a lot of demanding of being feminine as is. I would be a more feminine person had I more control of it. And if I can ignore the systems and survive without, I would be happy to be a little bit more feminine. But right now, the way I have my body is based on comfort, so it's probably based on autism as is. If I'm doing stuff like I don't shave, I don't do whatever, sometimes I shave my hair about once a year instead of go and get my hair done, because I don't like my hair. It actually bothers me. The back of my neck, I was like, oh, I barely even notice it, and then I immediately got very scratchy, itchy last night, and now I'm thinking about shaving my head again. And I don't care what people, I know that hair is important to a lot of people, but it really bothers me. Like clothing too. I would be nice as I would be a fashion designer. I like art. I'm good at art, but I don't like the way it feels. So all of it is based on my body. So I guess maybe I'll focus on that. Yeah. If you had less rules for little girls and demands for being a fucking mother from day one, right out the womb, then yeah, you would have more options for interests that you would have, or different stims you would have had, and you don't have the option of that because you're already an adult. And so why don't you focus on things that you want to do? Sometimes I tiptoes. I'm doing that now. I'm starting a bunch of hobbies, and it's hard because I do have ADHD, so things get ignored very fast. But overall, if you focus on your inner child and your body now, you can have more of a connection with who you are. And if you're in America, then you're fucked anyway. So don't even worry about it. Like, the diagnosis itself is hit or miss because in capitalism, they don't want autists. They do not want ADHDers because those people have a lot of sense of not only efficiency, because capitalism doesn't necessarily want efficiency, they want profits, and they don't need that. And if they don't need efficiency, no, they have speed. I didn't say they like speed. They do not like efficiency, and they don't like the justice. They don't like fairness. They don't like that. So your job doesn't even, you're not even going to be acknowledged for a job if you're autistic anyway. I got fired so many times. So at this point, fuck it. You don't need a diagnosis. You can just live for what you know as now. And a doctor doesn't know how a girl is raised, because that's why if you wanted an actual diagnosis, you probably need a fucking, not a pick-me woman. It's an actual doctor who focuses on women, and that includes with them as raised as femmes. But yeah, I'm not getting that. You might not. So live now. Be more connected with your body, be more connected with your childhood, be more connected with who you were early on that was silenced. You're gonna die fast enough. You know, everything is the lifespan is fucking short. So you don't need to have a diagnosis to decide you want to live authentically and feel better for your existence. And you can do that as yourself. I don't have any official meds. I am just trying to be as healthy as I can, and acknowledging myself as just a human being. And I don't need to be held back from any systems whatsoever. I really support community, and I want to be connected into more options and all of that. And I am very much so interested in witchcraft, and I'm focusing on things based on this body right now, what I want to connect with. And yeah, listen to your fucking body. Yeah, that's probably all you need to do. Okay. I expect nothing. Thanks for listening to me. I try to make it really fast because I don't like, I also have an issue with, I actually can focus on people reading to me, their eyes. I can look into people's eyes when they're talking to me, but I can't do the other way. And that's why, if you notice, I look away, because I'm used to online presence. It's not from TikTok or anything. I'm used to porn. I've made a lot of porn, and I don't like always being on being perceived for me as a person. But I should probably get used to it, because if I support autism, I should just be more honest. I'll get to it. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go make my coffee. I was really just giving myself time so that the coffee could get melted a little bit better, so that it's my coffee in the freezer. Okay, bye.